Okay, we are live. It's good to see everybody. I'm going to do a mic check real quick, make sure that we're good to go. See everybody's in the house. Appreciate everybody. There we go. Having a little bit of a issue with my internet. Sounds pretty good though. It's pretty windy outside. Hell yeah. It's good to see everybody tonight. Give me 1 second here, guys. We're going to do the super chat goal again tonight. Sorry. Whoops. All right, here we go. All right. What's up, everybody? What's up? Got about 30 people in the house. Got a nice little, we definitely got a special treat tonight, I think. We're going to be talking about the recent content here on the channel. Like, I understand that, a lot of people don't know, like, I brought that old footage back from, like, 6 years ago. I don't know if you guys remember Project Hot Wheels, but Project Hot Wheels was probably one of the more fun to builds on the channel that to date that we've ever had. So I really kind of wanted to, when I seen the horsepower that my dad's made and the stuff that we've done with my dad's car, like there's a whole playlist of naturally aspirated, supercharged, whatever. And what we've done with 351 Windsors and what we've done, I mean, it only made sense to go back and do the video that we did last Saturday. I mean, we literally right here in where my white car sits, built two engines that, I'm not patting myself on the back because, 450 is not a lot of horsepower at this day and age. I mean, with the technology that we have, I mean, it is a lot of horsepower. It's way more horsepower than you can get in trouble with. 400 wheel, like I always say, 400 wheels about the sweet spot. You get out there and you could spin tire in pretty much every gear and get a little crazy on 400 wheel in a fox body. But the point of the matter is, compared to what we could do now with the white car and soon to be the coupe, I have a lot of fun at 400, 450, 500 wheel. It's one of the main reasons why we built Project Hot Wheels and the stock bottom end rebuild 302 stuff. And it's basically just to show you guys that, you don't have to go break the bank to make power. And you don't even need to put a turbo on it, to be honest with you. You can make good horsepower. There's a car that I'm going to bring back from the depths of the channel, one of the 1,000 videos that we've made. It was a two-toned ultra blue car that we built a number of years ago. And to be honest with you, it's just another one of my favorite. We actually went like 1260s, 1250s. I can't remember. My buddy Mike, I think he said it went 49 in the quarter mile, and it was a full weight GT, long tube headers. It's the same engine. I've literally built the same engine 5 times in this channel. The black car, it made 600 wheel. The two-tone car, it made 600 wheel. 580, 640, whatever. Project Hot Wheels was the famous one for being completely bone stock motor that was just rebuilt. That's, kind of crazy. It's port velocity. It's just the way these engines like to make horsepower, and they could make 400 all day at 10, 12 pounds of boost, in a completely bone stock form. At that point, you're going to at least need some head studs and some bow springs, some stuff that like we did in the recent. But anyway, at some point in building a fox body and buying a fox body, you're going to have decisions you're going to have to make, whether you're going to modify it, leave it completely bone stock, which there's nothing wrong with that, or even start stepping into like the 351 Windsor stroker stuff that we've been talking about here on the channel. So let me catch up here. I appreciate all my guys in green, my channel members. We're going to be doing something for you guys, every tier of our channel members, for Fox Days of Christmas. So something nice for all you guys for being around for so long, because most of my members have been there for a while, and I can see how long they've been together on each tier. So if you guys get a chance, want to be part of that membership that we do every month, check out the join button on any of our videos and become that member. And we talk a lot in member for the most part. I get a lot of ideas and try to be as active as possible. But nonetheless, I appreciate all that, has been with us for several years. So anyway, Venture Super Dave, how we doing? 65 MSP, John Stickley. Yeah, Matt Wright, good to see everybody. HLR Saloon, Foxbody Parts, Chris, what's going on in the house? Pence Pony Performance. We will be doing a Hanlon banner today. So maybe we'll do one of the Hanlon or one of the other ones. We'll figure it out. What head gaskets did you use on your dad's car? My setup is primarily running 10-to-1 compression, only at 7 PSI. Pretty much your run-of-the-mill Advanced Auto Parts, Felpro PT 9333. Yeah, what is that? Felpro 9333, whatever, PT1 head gaskets. So that's what we run. They're about $18 a piece, $20 a piece. They're cheap. They're a steel core head gasket. They've been good to me up to about 15 pounds. They start getting pretty weak. They'll blow out, but it's what you want. You know what I mean? So you would rather blow a head gasket than blow a motor up. Hey, this is perfect. My 4-banger Fox just blew a head gasket. It needs a swap. So when it comes to making horsepower, that is a rabbit hole. And we all know this, car shows, cars, race cars. You got to figure out what decision you're going to make. 351 Windsors are getting hard. I'm getting yelled at on some of my videos because they're, some of the people that are watching it are like blaming me for the price of 351 Windsors going up. And it's just like, nah, bro, they're hard to get. Everyone thinks they're easy. They're not. Specifically, the roller ones that I like to use, because let's be honest, it's already set up for a roller, so I don't have to buy link bar lifters. And if I have a good cam and lifters and a dog bone retainer in a 302 block that I blowed up or don't want to rebuild, I can just swap it over and it's a simple swap. So that's why I like to use roller motor 351s. And they only made them like 4 or 5 years. So if you can get an idea, you get an opportunity to get one that's not cracked or junk, do it. But they're not easy to get. They're in pretty much every other van in the junkyard and once in a while in a truck or a Bronco, but they're not like a 302 that was in all the Thunderbird 50 HOs and all the Fox bodies that were 50s, which are not, I wouldn't say a dime a dozen is anymore, but the point of the matter is, 351 Windsors are, just, it's like the forgotten motor. It's the forgotten powerhouse, and it's always been that way. You got Coyote now starting to get into the realm of being affordable. That's why we talk about Coyotes. It's a bad bitch. It's going to always be a bad bitch with some good parts, oil pump gears, a simple set of cams, and an intake. You can make 400 4-quarter wheel on a Coyote all day long. I mean, but to get it swapped over to that, you still got K-member, you still got control pack, you still got wiring, you still got a nice project you got to do. So it's decisions, and where we've been in the channel with this live stream, we're just going to basically stick to the Turbo 302 and or a 351 Windsor because we haven't yet stepped into the Coyote game yet. Not that we won't, because I 100% will, but I'm always going to be a push rod at heart, and that's where we're going to keep our roots at. So don't forget Cleveland's are hard. Yeah, Cleveland's another motor, guys. So Cleveland's probably one of the baddest Ford motors ever made, but they only made them like a few years, and it was like 50 years ago. You're not going to find them. You see what I mean? Windsors are even harder to find, or not harder, but they're getting harder to find. And people are complaining because they're paying prices. No, people are starting to realize that the 351 Windsors are starting to become scarce. And they're starting to realize that with the technology and the fuel systems and the timing and the tuning that you have available in 2025, hey, we could actually make this push rod last, even at 1,000 crank power. I mean, we did on the 408 with the white car behind me. We beat the hell out of that motor, ran 560s, sold it to David Willis after we rebuilt it, and he's rocking the shit out of it right now, which I had some video to show you, but I didn't. Anyways, the point of the matter is at some point you're going to make a decision. And You got to decide on money. You got to decide on time. You got to decide on whether you even have the tools or the space to do this stuff. Guys, you could take a simple budget turbo kit, and there's a number of them out there. You guys know the ones that we've used over the years. I've fabricated and modified them all the time. I've put it all over the channel with the crossovers and the changing of this and the moving of that. But you can literally take a bone stock motor, car, whatever, and you can bolt the turbo on it and almost double its horsepower pretty easily at like 7 or 8, 9 pounds of boost, if that's what you wanted to do. Or rock the 302, 351 Windsor. Got it. You could do a stock block, stock bottom end thing. You do a 30 over thing with some nice trick flow 170s. The options are just unlimited. I mean, you got to be honest with you. We're pretty spoiled at this point in 2025 to have so many engine options for our Mustangs. And it's not just our Mustangs, but I mean, they're coyote swapping Chevy trucks and shit now. It's I don't know if you guys seen Caleb Richards' video, but he had an FTO video that was legitimately it was probably one of the best videos that I've seen yet this year. So let me scoot over real quick to email. We will be doing Fox Days of Christmas this year. Again, like I had said, but I'm not really sure what that all entails just yet. Just trying to make things kind of figure out what we want to do. You know what I mean? I want to do something really nice for the members that's been with us. And if you guys get a chance, Caleb's been doing a premium membership that's really been, he's been really kind of up in his game with that. As far as like, you need to go check out he's doing a lot of good stuff over there with his Patreon, with his YouTube. So go check out his, his premium subs are they're doing, a lot of nice things going on. And Brutal just gave away a camshaft. We're doing a lot of cool stuff. We're giving away a lot to the communities, and we appreciate you guys. Adventure Super Dave, I appreciate you, man. Get that Turbo 351 and post some impressive numbers. Yeah, so one of the things we've never done, Dave, is we've never actually, and I was telling, not that I want to put a turbo in my black car, because I want to just fix the 393, because I want to keep it a 393 500 wheel street car. But I've always wanted to do like a junkyard budget, like 351 Windsor, like kind of similar to the video that we just made this past weekend, where I literally just go through, not that I want to boost cast pistons, but you just go through, put some head gaskets on it, put some head studs on it, new valve springs, injectors, and just kind of put it in a motor and like a GT40 lower. You know what I mean? Just stock heads. Just see what kind of power it would make if you just bolted up a damn turbo kit and put just the supporting mods on it. What kind of power could we get at about 10 pounds? Because I'm pretty sure those cast pistons will be fine at like 10 pounds. This shouldn't be a problem. Be surprised, wouldn't you? I mean, we got extra pieces here on the shelf that we could put in Cousin Paul's coupe or some shit. But I was going to do that with the we were heading in that direction when the 387 went down. But to be honest with you, I prefer a little bit of cam chop on the 393 stroker. Besides, it's going to make 500 wheel when it comes back out of the box anyways. Lucifer in the house, good to see you. I have a word that gently. I don't want to jinx myself. What'd you say? My 408 has been together. Oh, yeah. You better be careful. I'm looking for a small block Ford Power Glide. Coyote Racing Channel. What's up, buddy? Yodi swapped the house. MF Customs wanted to do a Godzilla build. That would definitely be a good build. You have you've done a lot of the wiring with big stuff for that stuff. If I remember, you were at PRI. I don't know if you're going to PRI again, but stop by your booth. Matt Koenig, good to see you, brother. They've been tested to withstand 22 pounds. I run my cast pistons at 18 PSI at 18 degrees of timing, and it loved it. So, I mean, there's a possibility that we might mess with something like that. Not that we're going to do that in the black car. Like I said, it would be something, maybe the white car. The white, I think once we fix the white car, that would probably be the Coyote swap car, because all these parts are coming out to go to the coupe. So decisions have to be made here in the channel. They've already been made because, I mean, we don't have time for the white car right now to fix it. I mean, it's going to need some reinforcements. You know, we're going to have to do the, you know, through the frame, through the floor subframes, and we're going to have to, you know, we're going to tie the cage into it. So anyway, it's got to come off the road anyways. And for me to be even remotely competitive in stick shift next year with no prep, you know, we got to get a lighter chassis and one that's not going to be twisted up and send us into a wall. Need some torque box reinforcements, or need to put them in the coupe or whatever. But where can I find GT40 lower 351? Good luck with that. 351 Windsor. We're going to probably do. We should do another live stream where we talk about 351 Windsor, like what it takes to convert one over from a 302. Intake is probably one of the more expensive things that you have to do, just because there's just nothing out there junkyard wise or budget wise to switch it over to it. You could do a carbureted style lower intake like I've done on the black car with the stroker motor, but that's just that. I don't know. I don't prefer it. That's why we're putting the box R back down it. So now that's with no load on the engine dyno. You drag race with that sticky tire. That's another story. That Godzilla for big stuff at PRI 2 years ago had 10 wideband sensors on it, one for each cylinder and one for each of the back, the individual. Damn, that's a ton. What's up, Clifton? Good to see you. Wasn't TrickFlow going to start making 351 Windsor intakes? Yes. So I can say that I've talked to TrickFlow over the past 6 months. They're just going through a retooling right now. So that I can say, you know, their 9.5 deck 351 Windsor, it's the lower that they don't have. Obviously, the uppers are shared with the track heat and the box R and the box and all that other shit. But the lower is not, you know, clearly, because it's 351 Windsor versus 302. But they had an issue with the 8.2 deck a couple years ago where they didn't have any, but now they have plenty of them because they had to retool that one as well. So they will be coming back out in bulk and they'll be fine. You just can't get them right now. You know, I mean, they're probably available here soon for the holidays, but they probably only made so many of them. By the time you pay for a Lightning intake, might as well. Yeah, you're right. Best thing for you guys to probably do is TrickFlow does have a lower intake that we used on the 393. So that wasn't too bad. It was you know, that's something you can do with the, you have to buy the fuel rails and such. So that's something you can do for a 351 Windsor lower, or you could just use it as a carb style, you know, but if you're going to stay EFI, the one that actually we have on the black car right now is probably your best bet. It's like a single plane, like Victor Jr. looking thing. That's what I'm patiently waiting for, is the TrickFlow lower. Yeah, I get it, man. There's a lot of people looking for that intake, but we didn't have a whole lineup of things to say tonight. Like, you know, we're just going to kind of shoot it from the hip. You know, again, we've been talking about, you know, stock block turbo stuff. If you guys didn't get a chance to look at the last couple of weeks, we just did a really good video yesterday with, you know, Dad's car. And we compared it to six years ago. We did Project Hot Wheels. So the two completely different engine builds ended up making literally the same horsepower. I want to say that we were like at 458, 515 wheel on the stock motor turbo in Project Hot Wheels. I think our clutch was slipping a little bit. I really wasn't meant to handle that, but it did. And car went 1090s, real budget build. I mean, we're talking rings, bearings, gaskets, valve springs. I had already owned the, I didn't even do fuel rate. I knew nothing. I just wired the pump in the back, had a decent clutch in it. Not a whole lot. You see what I mean? There wasn't a whole lot. But one thing that Project Hot Wheels had that Dad's car does not, and it's a front suspension. So that's one thing we're going to be changing here soon. It's one of the content things that I want to do because I want to get back into the Brembo brakes with the black car. Hey, Neo, after seeing your dad's car made 450, I'm really considering on-3 kit. Yeah, a lot of the, the on three kit's a pretty good kit. I remember we used to get those things for like $1,400. They were cheap. They've gotten a lot better over the years. They've been reverse engineered. The kit's it's decent kit. I made my own advanced thing about on three. If you guys ever do the little budget turbo kit stuff like we done, I suggest you go check out that video. There's some nickel and dime things that you can do to the kit. You're gonna have to modify it, but I mean they offer it in stainless now, which is a better metal. They offer it in ceramic. Before you just got it in like mild steel. You know what I mean? And one thing we used to do is the crossover. We used to take out the flex coupler and actually fit the crossover to both headers, so it had something to kind of the way Brian at B&G had explained it to me. If you guys know B&G Turbo, they no longer make turbos anymore, but Brian did a bunch of really nice, good. He had a system set up to make a bunch of good turbo kits for small block Ford. But anyways, one of the things he had told me is that when the crossover comes down on a single turbo, you don't really want that flex coupler in there because you're going to want that crossover helping to hold the turbo up, because the turbo header is really heavy and it gets hot all the time. That's how the metal fatigues. You know what I mean? It's just from heat. I mean, you're talking hundreds and hundreds of degrees all the time. And, there's back pressure there and there's just a lot of heat. So anyway, flex coupler helps. When you take the flex coupler out and make it a hard straight pipe, kind of helps keep those headers in place so they don't, they can hang off each other. But you said your dad's car was on 12 PSI. It made 440, 13 and a half, just under 14. It made 458 just about 458, but we're pretty much out of injector. We put 60s in dad's car. We could push 500 in that motor, but why? I'm not interested in that. My dad's happy with it. I'm happy with it. Let's go. I would think a 351 Windsor style build like Project Hot Wheels would make 550 wheel at similar boost. Yeah. That's what we're thinking. If I was to pull a 351 Windsor out of the junkyard, pull it all the way apart like we did the 387's original motor, which that would have been a perfect motor to use it for. And, just maybe re-ring it, re-hone it, and slam it back together. Deck the block. You always deck the block and heads when you go to boost. So there is a little bit of machine work done. I know we talk about no machine work builds, but that's not really going to prove a whole lot outside of the fact you're going to take the damn thing back apart when you blow a head gasket. But if you have a good deck surface, if you have a good cylinder head surface, and you got some head studs and just like even the Fel Pro 9333 PT1s, I mean, you should be able to push 15 pounds on that and be okay. I mean, that's what we did on dad's car. So, but nonetheless, yeah, we've never actually done that with a bone stock 351, and I've always considered it. It's always one of the things that I haven't checked. It's always one of the boxes that I haven't checked yet. So, higher compression lowers your tuning window with boost. We're touching 12 to 1 right now, 11 and a half to 1 on the white car behind me. You're talking 57 cc heads with 363 stroker. We tickle 20 pounds of boost. I mean, 16, 17, 18, 19. It makes power. And we've had it at about that range for about a year now, and it hasn't had an issue. And we run that car hard. So we run E85 pump gas, which is usually ends up being like E90. It's good. It's good fuel. I like E85 because you can do some shit like that. Compression don't matter as much as it just lowers your tuning. I think you just said that. And it blows your spark out. That's correct. That's one thing we have a problem with. So coil near plug will definitely help that situation for sure, which we've been lazy and not done. So that we're going to fix that this year. We got a lot of work to do. We got to get the old black car done and fixed in December. Get dad's car. I don't even think I'm going to touch dad's car right now. Like, I just leave it alone. Like, I want to change the suspension on the front of it. We may end up doing that, but the black car is going to be down until literally the coupe is finished. We really need to get, I'm making space back here right now so I can put my white car on like rollers and to be able to roll it to the back and move it around without actually having to steer it and shit. So, once we get the black car's engine out and moved, then we can get the coupe in here and start transferring parts, because that's all we're going to do. I mean, we're literally purposely building the coupe with all the good parts that we have in the white car, because the white car needs to get torque boxes and it needs a new floor pan and subframe connectors. So it has to go under the knife in 26. And, we may do something with it, we may not, but we're definitely not going to mess with the white car suspension. It's a pretty unique little setup. You know what I mean? So, I was meaning that the higher compression narrows your turning window and the ability to turn it down. That's correct. Because even when I take a bunch of dome pressure off, it still goes fast. What's up, Heath? Good to see you, brother, tonight. Yeah, bro. I have DSS forged in the block. Already have heads cam intake. Just considering the forced induction to use. Yep. So, I mean, at this day and age, we can do a lot. There's a lot of decisions we can have. I literally looked at Facebook Marketplace, right? I was just kind of digging through it, right? Because I didn't put Coyote on the picture for a reason. When we're talking about fox body, we're talking about 95% of the relatable content in fox bodies is either somebody's got a lightly modified motor or a stock 302, and at some point they're going to want to make a decision whether they want to make. Happiness is only the moment before you realize you need more happiness. And at some point you're going to be like, I need more horsepower, or I need to go faster, or I seen so-and-so's cam chop video. I seen Neo's cam chop video on the internet. Now I want my shit to chop like that. Right. So, it's just a rabbit hole. You just got to enjoy what you have. I mean, even if it's not the best. I had a lot of fun with Dad's car. I'm kicking the cobwebs off of it this year towards the end of the year. And I hope he has my dad's going to have a blast in this car in 26. I'm super happy to have done what we have done with Dad's car in 20. Rated like Foxtoberfest was probably the saving grace. And I'm going to be honest with you. Like, I wasn't going to go to Foxtoberfest, but it gave me the push that I needed to finish Dad's car, because it was sitting over there with a broke clutch cable. It was sitting over there with a messed up shifter handle. The exhaust wasn't on it. It was leaking. It needed, I needed to take it down the street and tune it a little bit. There was just a handful of dumb shit that needed done in Dad's car. Now, car's quiet. He likes it, and I'm happy. I'm even considering putting the heat back on for him. Like, we never took the heating box out, but we got to probably fix that up. Fix that up for my dad. He's 73. He can be driving around town in a 10-second street car and smiles per gallon. You know what I mean? That's what it's all about. 34 years. Let's go get that car off the jack stands. That's what I'm talking about. Jesse Workman in the house. Me and Jesse's been talking and going back and forth. He's been getting his car back on the road. These are all my members here. So if you guys check out the guys in green, are all my members. They can do some stuff like this in live chat. It's definitely a rabbit hole. I'm down to water pump and past few little bolt-ons with my engine complete. Getting close. Man, you got to just stay at it, Kent. Shelby, just stay at it. You got to budget the time and the family, man. I know, I get it. Jackstand Church, you're talking to me. If you guys are in the garage right now working on your shit, I want to know what you're working on. We always talk about that every week. My 408 is stock 351 block. I'd say 7,800 if built and tuned right. Yeah, so you're going to have to build your car around it. We're at the point now with Dad's car making correct. We're at the point now where Dad's car is making enough horsepower to get in trouble with. And when I was down at Foxtoberfest, and this is for you guys with stock block 302s, when I was down at Foxtoberfest, one of the things when I was leaving the line, because you guys know I got a little stock T5 in that thing. When I was leaving the line, like there's just, the car just seems loose. It needs better control arms, and it definitely needs a better front suspension, because it's, the stock suspension, like my dad's whole front of his car is stock suspension. So we got to be mindful to build our cars around the 6 or 7 or 800 horsepower that we're trying to achieve, because 6 or 7, 800 horsepower, in the right car makes, a low 9-second pass at 150 plus. And you're not taking a stock car at 150. And if you do, more power to you, brother. But you probably shouldn't. Your car needs suspension, torque boxes. It needs a lot of stuff to go that fast. I know people has done it, but I'm talking about like safely. Lucifer, I appreciate the $9.99 super chat. We'll put that to good use in Fox Days of Christmas this year. This month, this year. Well, it'll be December, but we got to get it ready. Did hatch panels this week, bolted the head up, and played with the 3D printer. What you making? Decided my notchback is going to become a 5-speed. C4 is not cutting it. There we go. Put that man pedal in, bro. Hell yeah. I'm putting my 302 top end together now with on 3, and I have a 408 I've got to finish. See, that's where it's at, man. Now, you could probably take that 302 kit that you bought, and I have bought I've used, chopped up, modified 302 on 3 turbo kits for years, making 351 ones fit 302s and vice versa. It's usually the cross members, the biggest issue, and the downpipes, like 3.5 inch. So there is some stuff. You can get away with, you just buy it. You know what I mean? If you got a little fabrication skills where you can kind of pie cut or mandrel bend or just buy I just buy stuff from Amazon. It's cheap. It's easy. Not a big deal. So what's up, Pimp in the house? Good to see you. I'm happy to say for the first time in 11 years that my foxbody isn't getting shit this year. You mean it ain't Christmas for your car, bro? Come on now. Yeah. Well, I can tell you that, HLR Saloon, I appreciate the $9.99 super chat. We'll put that towards the channel, brother. Jesse Workman, it was nice to get my suspension work done and make a couple passes yesterday. So I was looking at your ticket, Jesse, and I did want to mention this here in super chat. What I did notice is your 60-foot is completely different in 2 different tickets. I do believe your car is as fast or faster with the same 60-foot, and I would probably start when you get data at the track. If you start messing with it, if you get one more day out, get a good tire on it or slip the clutch really good or leave soft just to get, you need to get some data to see. Because I know what a lot of people do and what I've seen in the past, not a lot of people do, but I've seen in the past that I've seen people, put these cars together and you put your money into them, your time into them, and you throw your hammer across the damn garage. I'm guilty of that shit. And you're mad at it because it's not doing what you want it to do. So you put all this money and you put all this time and effort into it, and you go out to the track and go slower. That's one of my biggest concerns about coupe, because it's just Murphy's Law at that point. And I'm gonna be optimistic when I put the coupe together. Let's get back into the 5s first. We want to hang a second turbo, but we may not have the time to do that in early 2026. I just want to get the stuff over to the new car, get the stance set up, because it's going to be a different suspension setup than we have in the white car. It's not going to have a bunch of travel in it. It's going to be limited, and we're going to try to make it. We're going to bring bar angles to the channel. I haven't really talked a lot about bar angles. I haven't really talked a lot about suspension work in the rear and how to get your car to hook better on certain pavements. And that's kind of something that we kind of need to dig into a little bit in 26 with the coupe. My car doesn't have to sit up like a 4x4 in the front all the time, but this car was set up for no prep asphalt / back half, and it does really, really good in the front half because it can do really well in the back half, because it was the worst of the 2 surfaces. Anyway, long story short, I would go get some data, Jesse, at the track one more time. Try to get the 60 foot from last year and this year as equal as possible, and then kind of collect your data from there. You know what I mean? Totally redid the rear end, C-clip eliminators, 35 axles. Yeah, that's what I got in the white car. Well, soon to be coupe. In the garage, replacing axle seals. Oh, that's not terrible, though. That's not. You just going to leave the bearings, or is it just the seals? Bearings are probably just fine. Make sure you check the races on the axle, though. because those races get all jacked up. You hear me? Yep. I'm beyond happy with it this year. It's done multiple 5-second passes in full weight, full interior with stereo in it. I love it, dude. On drag radials, on pump fuel. I love it. Lucky Drag Cities. I'd like to go back and race there a little bit. Maybe do a little bit of like, all motor stuff with my black car. So yeah, I had talked about this. Matt, I already talked to him about the tire. I think the tire is a big issue too. He doesn't want to run slick. He had mentioned his concern, but I'm going to be honest with you guys. I think you got it a little bit backwards. A slick is actually, it's one of the reasons why I like the T5 in my dad's car, and what I liked it in Project Hot Wheels, and then what I liked it in, when we ran it with the black car. Like the T5 will last. It's definitely on a time bomb frame. It's definitely on a ticking time bomb, whatever you want to call it, when you start making power to them. But if you have a good slipping / clutch, okay, one that's not super aggressive, and you got a slick tire, you can kind of pad the load. What's the best way to put it? Not shock the tire as much. Because if you start shaking the tire a lot, you're going to bust parts. Radial cars are undoubtedly faster than slick cars, but they do kind of require a little bit of extra attention on the prep and on the track. And if you shake them, you'll break them. The slick's a lot more forgiving when it comes to shock on the tire. So if you're ever going to try to race your T5 or something, along those lines, having a slick tire on it at the track, not so necessarily on the street, will help kind make it survive a little bit. Does that make any sense? It's slick tire dead hooking will literally help absorb the shock load on the whole drive line. Whereas a radial is meant to actually just hook and book. You see what I'm saying? And if you shake the tire real bad because your suspension's not right or the tire pressure's not right, then it's going to just beat the shit out of your drive line. So shock load breaks everything. That is correct. Slicks do suck up a lot of rattle. That's correct. So slicks are very forgiving. That's correct. So that's what I was trying to tell. And some of you guys may not know that, but I learned that, I learned that the hard way myself. I always said to myself, oh, I'm not going to put a slick on my car. I don't want to break parts. No, it's actually going to help you not break parts. And it's going to actually help you get traction and take some of the shock load off of your drive line. Well, I'm mainly talking about stick shift cars. Auto cars, same deal. When you start getting into the two-step rev limiter / trans brake, you start shocking a tire pretty hard, but not as much as a stick car. Stick cars just shock the shit out of it. That's why we break everything. That's why it's crazy. Anyways, a radial is the way to go if you can get a radial to work right in your car. Eventually, with our coupe, that's where we're going to hit. So you build T5, right? I used to. I mean, I still do, but I don't do them as often as I used to. Hey, Neo, did the injectors on your dad's car max out at Ford Takeover? Yes. So I don't know if the injectors need to be cleaned or if we need to change the tune up a little bit. But we hit like 12.5 to 1. We were at like 11.7, but right around about 6,000, they were telling me that we were creeping in on 12.2, 12.3, 12.4. Probably at max fuel pressure was 60 under load. So it's 45 idle, climbs to like 64, 62, and it pretty much stays there. If you have fuel pressure problems under boost, your fuel pressure will actually drop. This is the importance of having fuel pressure safeties on and or having a fuel pressure gauge outside of your car somewhere. It's important, because if you watch your fuel pressure drop under load, you better fix the delivery issue, because you either have a clogged up filter, your lines are too small, your injectors are too small, or your pump can't keep up. That's pretty much it. Just had this question happen in Facebook. Actually, a fellow member of ours here on the channel, Gene Long, I had explained that to him. So we've had that on the channel. We have that on footage, and one of our black cars 363 turbo hits. So we'll watch the fuel pressure drop, and I explained it there. So I agree with the drive shaft loop is a guarantee. Like if you don't want to put holes, guys, there's no wrong answer for a drive shaft loop. But drive shaft loop is there for a reason. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go look it up on YouTube. Go look it up on Tiki-Taki or whatever bullshit. And you'll see. When a drive shaft loses its U-joint, and U-joints break all the time, it will catapult your car. It'll literally flip your car over. Like, bloop. It's like, what the hell just happened? Drive shaft lube is a must. Probably the easiest one you're going to get is the Stifler's one. Naturally, I'm going to promote Brian's Stifler's, drive shaft lube. It's SFI. It's strong, and I would rather break the back of my T5 housing, or T5, but T56 rear housing, which is easily replaced, than take my floor out or flip my car over. So Stifler has it set to where you don't have to mount it in the car, like drill holes in the floor and have it mounted to the car, which is kind of nice because it can still beat the shit out of your floor pan if it comes loose. The nice thing about the Stifler ones is it actually mounts between the transmission mount and the transmission tail shaft housing. So it's like in between there, and it's like 1/4-inch steel. It's pretty heavy duty. It's going to be one of the things that we're going to probably be giving away for Fox Days of Christmas. So you guys are going to want to pay attention because I'm going to do Fox Days of Christmas probably 2 weekends. We'll do the members one weekend, and then we'll do the regular followers, subscribers here on the channel another weekend. We'll try to figure that out for us. So, but I mean, all these guys that support the channel, that's what that goes to. This Fox Days of Christmas comes from the stuff that you guys do for us. So I have the Stifler's loop in a box ready to go. And like I said, it'd be nice if the Stifler's was a little bit lighter, but I mean, I would rather it be heavier duty and be a couple extra pounds to make sure that it doesn't come up through my floor and or flip my car over. So, if you up the injectors, do you upgrade your pump? So I can do 60s with the 355 pump right now because my pump is wired. If you've done that video, if you're still kind of getting into the building thing with your foxbody, your fuel pump wiring is insufficient pretty much past 300 wheel. I mean, you need to upgrade it. You need to put it on its own relay. And the nice thing is if you ever Holly Terminator exit, all you got to do is plug right into your relay. You can just bypass your relay. You just plug right into what you already have set up. 10 gauge is what them pumps need. You put stock, here you go. Here's your tip. We're talking fuel pumps. If you're putting a new fuel pump in your Foxbody, let's just say you're getting into the game, you're just now starting, you're just starting to get a little horsepower going. You don't have a $1,000 A1750 million LPH, GPH, whatever you want to call it, sump pump coming off the back of your car like mine does. Let's just say dad's car, right? Let's say you're just getting into it. You bought a turbo kit. I'm going to do what Neo's done. I'm just going to put this shit on a stock motor, which I've done and had fun with, by the way. If you put a 340 pump in your tank and you just plug it in, I can guarantee you without a shadow of a doubt that your pump is not going to pump at 340. Number one. You have to put the proper amperage, and it even says it in the Aeromotive, because 340 is actually one of the smaller pumps that I'm talking 340s. I must be like 20. It shows my date. It shows me aged right there. You know what I mean? Because they got 425 pumps now. They got like 550 pumps. They got crazy like Hellcat pumps and shit going on. And let's be honest, those are great pumps to keep up with 500 or 600 wheels through stock rails. But you got to feed them some amps. You got to. So the only way to do that is to wire it through a relay, which we've done on the channel 20 years ago. A direct feed from your battery and or the back of your, I think you can do the back of your alternator, but don't quote me on that. I don't want nobody to burn their car down. But we do from the battery, which is the same exact terminal that comes in from the relay anyway, or from the 3G, and put a nice 30 amp in line, and then we go all the way to the back. Unless you have the battery in the back, then it's easy, but it's all 10 gauge. 10 gauge wired right into the pump. The problem is some of those pumps now, I think they're like hardwired at like 14 gauge wire, which is still bullshit. Still not enough amperage. I mean, you want to feed that thing some amps. So let me go through. What pump is in a white car? I have an Aeromotive, or excuse me, a Magnum Fuel 750. They've modified it though. I don't know what they did, but they clean it and modify it for. I don't know. They upgrade it, date it. I don't know. It's pumping pretty good. We got to send one back though. Magnum Fuel. Big shout to Robbie and those guys over there at that company. Great group of people. I've actually had about 5 pumps rebuilt over about 5 years. E85 is pretty hard on pumps. It's pretty hard on fuel systems in general and engines for that matter. That's why we run a top lube and we run like a water, the water E85 water thing. I put that in all my fuel, but it's still pump gas like E90. Magna Fuel for about $150. Granted, there's nothing really jacked up in it. About $150. You send your pump back in, and you get a pump for, rebuilt and updated. If it's we had a Magna Fuel 600, and they actually updated it to a 750 for us. So it's almost like the RXT deal. Like McLeod does the same thing. You can change. Now, don't quote me on the RST, but I think the RXT normal one can be updated to an actual HD 1200. They can actually change the springs and make that clutch an update. That's another company that you can send your old shit that's broken back in. They can rebuild it and update it for a fraction of the cost that it costs to buy it new. So you see a Magna Fuel pump at a swap meet, 750 or even a 600, and you can get it cheap, $50. You can send it into, or $100. You can send it back into Magna Fuel, and for about $100, $150, they'll rebuild the pump, and you'll pay half the price. I mean, those pumps are $500 or $600, $700 now. If you find one out there used, you remember what Neo said. You can get a badass pump for half the price, brand new, rebuilt, updated from Magna Fuel themselves. Because I don't know if a lot of people like even know that exists. The same thing with Precision Turbo. So there's companies out there, like when you buy this shit, like they'll rebuild the stuff. There's a lot of parts that you buy, you blow up, you're done with them. You got to buy it new. But turbos, fuel pumps, clutches, wearable items. Yeah. Got to keep that in mind. I run Terminator pump in my carb car. So 3 pumps. I remember the one, listen, I went 150. I had 125 in Dad's car at one point, 155. I think there was a 220. There were a 225, wasn't there? 225, I think it was. I've had them all, man. I still got them on the shelf. What pump is in the white car? Not a carb. I have a 450 in my Supra. Is that like a Hellcat pump? I need to add another to my car. 525 Hellcat pump. Oh, look who's in the hex out. What's up, big dog?
What's going on?
Hey, we're just talking some shit on some fuel pumps, and I see you over there giving away free stuff.
Yep. We were actually just talking. We were just talking fuel pumps and regulators. So we had to find some stuff. We got a new project going on at the shop. So
really,
yeah, we got.
Are we allowed to know yet?
Yeah, it's no big secret. But my stepson Hunter, he had that black GT, and they brought it over the other day. Oh yeah, Berger's mic'd up, by the way.
Okay, what's up, Berger?
What's up?
So
he don't sound like that. He sound like he's in the back of the shop.
Yeah. I know, right? But anyway, yeah, we got his car over here, and they were tightening up the intake to put it all back together, and Hunter broke the lower intake. He didn't know and tightened it too much and cracked the intake. Well, yeah, so we had another GT40 intake, but he was like, you know what, man, I just want to go carbureted. So we're like, okay, so here's what you need to have, blah, 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 talking, fuel pumps and regulators. And then I was like, yeah, you know what, we got an ACES kit laying around. He's like, yeah, let's do that. So we're doing ACES kit on Hunter's car as of right now. That may subject to change. You got another one of those?
Yes.
Thank you. Huh?
This?
Oh, yes. Yeah, you don't have one you want to sell, do you? Because we need one. What you doing? Yeah, I know you ain't going carbureted.
What is that? I don't know. I just pulled that out of my ass. That was sitting. That had a bunch of cobwebs and shit in it.
You want to sell it?
I mean, you can use it, but you probably be on there forever.
No. I don't want to use it. I don't want it anyway. It's not for me. But yeah, he needs a carbureted intake. Is the only thing he needs. So he'll probably just find him a Victor Jr. on Facebook, something like that.
Probably.
So what we got going on tonight on the channel, bro? I hadn't had a chance to listen in. What we talking about?
What about the fuel pump you get in the On 3 kit? I mean, it's not bad, but I mean, air motive's air motive, brother.
Like a 340.
Yeah,
it's a good pump.
We were talking about it.
Yeah, there's really nothing wrong with all those pumps. You know, we've used so many of them throughout the years, different brands and stuff. Some quantum pumps. Remember those things? Those things work fine too. You know. I may
need to upgrade the wiring on my 340 pump. I'm out of fuel at 4,800. Yeah, So like I was telling you earlier.
Don't get him started on freaking upgrade wiring. That's a must.
Listen, I was just telling them, you know, anything north of 300, you're going to need to wire your pump, because you could put a 340 in that bitch and you would still only be pulling like 260.
Yeah.
You know, 220. Because you need power. You need to put power into the pump. That's what it needs. If it's going to pump more fuel, it needs more amps.
We ran into that issue with your car, wasn't it? So we kept having a fuel delivery problem, and we ended up upgrading the wiring on it, like you always preach, and it fixed it. I think it was your car, or maybe mine. I can't remember, but that fuel pump, that wiring is the real deal. You really need to do that, especially like you said, if you go up, you get into a 4 anything pump, you need a wiring upgrade. That little wire will get hot as hell back there.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, it's a fire hazard, whatever. Adventures of Super Dave's got an Edelbrock Performer RPM intake if he wants it.
Performer RPM. We're trying to find a single plane, but I know Bama 50 said that he's got a dual plane, which we may have to do. We're trying to kind of keep this budget friendly. So I may get up with Bama 50 if we can't find anything, and we'll just buy that one from him. But we're going to try to run that Aces kit and see how it does on his car.
That's awesome. What about 340 and an SN95? Let me tell you something about the SN95 really quick, because the SN95's got bigger fuel lines. Little do you guys know. And the fuel rails on an SN95 302 9495 are actually kind of an upgrade for fox bodies. If you guys are trying to push budget, and we talked about this before, Brutal, a couple times.
Yep.
You know, if you want to do the connections for the fuel rails, the SN95s hold quite a bit more volume than the actual fox body ones. So if you're trying to keep things budgetish, and at some point you could wire your pump, put a 340 or a 425 in it, and at some point the rails are going to become the restriction, because there's just not enough volume. At that point, going into a cheap SN95 set of rails that you find, telling you.
Yeah, for sure. You can get away with a lot of power with a stock rail and stock lines and stuff if you got enough pump. You're stressing the pump, you're stressing the system, but it can be done, because the EFI cars, they work more off pressure than anything. So you can get away with it, but you'll have to run a higher pressure, which like in the Terminator X is not really an issue. You can always kind of compensate a little bit. You can bump the pressure up if you need to, but yes, you need that volume ultimately, especially for boosted applications. I don't even play around with that. Boosted applications, go ahead and put some fuel rails, fuel system,
you might,
all that AN line. Yeah,
you got to feed
NA, you can get away with a lot. NA.
Yeah. Does a Cobra crank? Here's one. Does a Cobra crank pulley really help at all with power? So he must be talking about underdrive.
Man, I'm gonna say no. Honestly, you're not gonna see it or feel it. If you're back in the day and Neo, and there's a lot of you I know that were alive back then, but in the 80s and stuff with these cars, that stuff mattered. Underdrive pulleys, different thermostat in the car, bypass the smog pump, short belt, all those things mattered, and they do increase the horsepower of the car noticeably. But I wouldn't these days. I probably wouldn't go through the hassle of that, in my opinion.
No. Not at all. Cool. I'll keep my
back then, like back then, 10, 15, 20 horsepower was the game changer. You could outrun all your buddies that had these cars. Yeah.
That's a bumper. That's getting somebody in a bumper.
That's right. Yeah. or
Man,
compensate for you not being as good of a driver, maybe.
You know, I mean, let's just slow it down a second. You remember how, like, we would race in the street. Like, we had a 1/4 mile bridge over here. Like, literally, we raced every weekend. And we were racing bikes and trucks and cars and whatever. And I mean, I remember how long it took us to make an extra 10 horsepower. Just trying to find ways, because we didn't have the abilities to. I mean, superchargers were available, but they were super expensive. You know, and you ran nitrous a little bit, was a pretty cheap horsepower, but you know what I mean.
Oh yeah, for sure. It was hard back then to get anything, get a leg up on somebody. You know, a set of gears, flow masters back in the day, a H pipe, some shorty headers. You know, we're talking before a lot of people were even running around, you know, with like camshafts and stuff, you know, and heads. Like, this was back before then. It really just kind of come down to the driver, because you could have somebody that had all those little tricks and stuff, and then literally you're just a better driver than them, and it didn't matter, because there wasn't enough of a horsepower difference to walk somebody down, in my opinion. But if you were a good driver and you had all those little mods, man, it made all the difference in the world. Like Neo was skinning everybody's ass up back in the day.
No, I was learning, and I was, you know, you got to lose to win. You got to figure it out. Nobody came out of the box a champion.
That's right, for sure. Well, what about our boy today, man? I'm not gonna go into detail because I know it's not been put out yet, but I'm proud of my boy. Caleb was working his butt off today, man. He earned that today, didn't he?
He was so mad.
He was freaking hot. So,
and the funny thing is I've done that.
I did too. I did the exact same thing.
I forgot that. Almost.
As soon as
without telling anymore, we gotta leave it. We gotta leave it alone.
Yeah, I was proud of him today because I know that feeling. So you know, it's something we talked about on there. I was like, I don't think people understand how hard this is, because like, if you're just out there working on your own stuff, your own time, you're not videoing, you don't have an audience watching, it sucks. But imagine like 100-fold with a YouTube channel, the stress of it all, and trying to get all this stuff done. Look, the Rooster and Tucker are fighting. Go get him.
Are you serious?
Get him, Tucker. Go get him. Oh yeah,
that Rooster, bro.
Oh, that Rooster will tear him up. Go get him.
There he goes.
Oh, here we go.
Oh yeah, they'll fight. It's crazy.
How do you size an EFI pump regulated to carb?
So you don't need a lot of pump with a carb setup. Excuse me. So you can get away. Depends on really what you're trying to do. You know, you can get away with a stock pump and just regulate it down. I don't have a regulator, but I recommend the Aeromotive though, EFI to carb, and really anything, man. Like what 347, let's say 347 stroker, heads, cam, intake, all that stuff. Man, a 340 pump is all you'll need. It's all you'll need. Matter of fact, I only got a 340 pump on the 393. It's EFI pump to carb.
Yeah, I still got my 750 set up on that, my old Magna Fuel. In the 90s, you had gears, headers, exhaust, and what about unless you had money, then you were probably supercharged.
Yeah, there wasn't. Which I'm from a small town in Georgia, Blakely, Georgia. There wasn't a lot. There wasn't a lot of that type, like heads, cam, intake stuff going on in the 80s and early 90s. I think you really started kind of seeing that around 93, 92, 93, 94. People started really getting into that stuff. But before that, it was like you said, it was just the bolt-on stuff. I got a question for you. Do you remember tricking the manifold air temp?
Yep.
Okay. All right. You remember doing that? Yes. Well, with the diode, and you could take the temperature sensor and drop it in a bucket of ice, in a little container of ice, like a separate sensor, right? And drop it in there, and it would trick the car to thinking that it's really cold. And it would, I guess, add timing. And anyway, it was just an old trick that people did. I never did it.
Let me explain it to you. I pimp Sunday. I don't know what that means, but he wanted me to do it. So I know what you're talking about. You're talking about the little kit that was like $5 or $10, and it went in between your IAT. Okay, so basically what the diode was doing, or resistor or whatever, was doing exactly what you were talking about. It was changing the temperature
Yes.
of your car. So here's the thing. When your car goes closed loop, for every 10 degrees past a certain number, I think it's like 180, 5 degrees, 10, I don't remember. It pulls a degree of timing.
Yeah.
So when a lot of these clutch fans would heat up, cars would, it's not uncommon to see a foxbody run at 200 degrees. It's already missing 2.5 degrees out of the tune immensely. So what that mod did, and it worked, it basically tricked the voltage to the computer, telling the computer that it was always running cold.
That's right.
So
there was that, and there was an actual, maybe somebody can back me up on this. You could take the coolant temp sensor, a new one, right? And just leave yours plugged in. You take a new sensor, plug it into the harness, and drop it in a little container of ice, right? And it just set it on the side of the engine right there. And it would trick it long enough for you to go make your run and I guess do the same thing. Now, I'm just regurgitating what I heard back in the late 80s, early 90s. I never did that, but I always heard of people doing it. So I always thought it was kind of cool. I guess it's the same concept, really.
So
when
you run the IAT in the actual tube, like the intake cold sensor, what we found out is the air coming in was a lot cooler than the air on the lower intake. And that's why in 94, 95, they moved the IAT, the intake air temp sensor, to the airbox.
Yep.
So, yeah.
There's ways of tricking the cars for sure. Because, like you said, it's temperature based. So with temperature, you can adjust the timing so the computer would start to pull timing. It's the same thing we do nowadays. It's the same thing.
Old people told me they used to put mothballs in their gas tank.
Yes.
Does that do anything?
It was an octane booster, supposedly.
What? I've
yes.
never heard that before.
Yeah. You drop mothballs in your gas tank, and it would supposedly raise the octane. I never did that, but I know Papa T did back in the day. They did that.
Really?
And yeah, they did that back in the day. And also, which it kind of defeats the purpose of what I'm about to say, but for some reason they swore by it back in the day, and that was to put Marvel Mystery Oil in the gas. Now, I would think that it would have lower octane with the oil in the gas, but they did it. I don't know. Maybe running like avgas or something like that. Maybe that's why they did it. Maybe to help kind of lubricate, because I know that stuff's a little dry. Mm-hmm. But I always remember that, people putting Marvel Mystery Oil in there, and yes, definitely mothballs. So I don't know if it did anything or not, but people did it. You're gonna do
it for life. That's where we're at.
Yeah. Now this is a good topic right here. We need to maybe do a live stream one night and solely talk about.
Hey, you're off the next 3 days. When we're doing it?
I don't know when we're gonna do it, but we might need to. This would be a really good, fun conversation for me where I can get the laptop out and see some comments, because I can't see comments whenever I'm like this.
Yeah, that's why I'm kind of. Can you see them when I bring them up?
Yeah, I can see the ones that you bring up. Yeah.
On the FN95, the IAT is it's in the airbox.
Yeah.
Is someone willing to say Coyote to get Andrew in here? He needs to see Bruce's title. Coyote.
Yep.
I think he's in here.
He's in here. He's hiding.
He's hiding. He sees Hanlon's daddy. He sees Hanlon's daddy.
No, I can't tag him there.
Yeah.
Usually, if they're in there, you can tag them in the.
He's probably out there.
Yeah, he's
praying
there.
to the coyote gods.
Boom! I just tagged him. He's there.
Yeah, he's here. He's hiding.
He's in here. This is Zach. He texted me about it. What's up, Zach? In the house.
Oh, we got Zachevius in the house.
Zachevius. So, 8.0 index, bruh. When you're bringing that car to Ohio to get beat up by Dad's car.
Who, me?
No. Zach.
Talking about Zach? Oh.
No.
How long of a trip is that? How far apart are y'all? For you guys?
Zach, I'm just kidding. I love you, brher.
Zach's about that life now. Zach's about that life. He'll put that bitch beside you in a heartbeat.
Hey, what he did to you, he was out in front he was out in front a little bit there, huh?
Yeah,
He got the jump.
He did. He did. We situated that problem though. No, we
told
got
you I
that.
keep
We got that.
receipts.
We were cutting some good lights. What'd he say?
I keep receipts.
Whatever. For what?
Hey, you went on to the final round to race Godzilla, so he did not.
Yeah, like I mean, I ain't seen shit from him yet. So a bunch of this is all I've seen.
Man, we just playing with y'all. We love y'all. We just playing with y'all. Listen,
But for real,
there isn't anybody else I'd rather race with. You know, I had such a. It is crazy. We never even planned any of that, but he had such a good time at Foxtoberfest. It's just, I'm really glad
that was a good.
Drove overnight.
Yeah, me too. So me and Neo did the exact same thing. We had about the
exact same time.
Got there at the exact same time. Then we left at the pretty much exact. You got home 5 minutes before I got home. Did you know that? Yeah, that was crazy.
Isn't that crazy.
On the way back. Yeah, so we drove all through the night.
Did we just become best friends?
I know, right? we had such a blast.
And it was just
fun as hell.
Completely
unscripted.
Unscripted, unplanned. It's just, hey, what you doing? I don't know. Here in the street messing around. Oh, I'll be right there.
It was fun. I wish we'd had more time to really kind of play around some, but you know, it's also, you know, there's that, it's like a double-edged sword, man. It's fun as hell. But if you get caught out there doing stuff like that, which we do it all the time, but all the time. Oh, let me give you guys an update on Berger's car.
Yes, I was just about to ask that.
So I got a video coming out tomorrow on Berger's car, the update. We finally got the carburetor sorted out on it. Took us all day. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty much sorted out, bro. I mean, I don't know what else we're supposed to do. It's as good as I can get it. But we took his car out. Holy crap. That it's nasty. So he was able to hit third to fourth, and it was blowing the tires off on motor with slicks.
That's torque, baby.
So, yeah, this car's going to be a beast, man.
Did plastic chip it the first time.
So what did you end up doing with your
stand him. Handling.
What do you say now?
You got to show the whole text. I'm a killing man. We don't have anything else on there. We don't need it. Okay, yeah, we're good. So this is what Hanlon sends him. This shit I have to put up with.
Shelby. Don't even want to hear it. Don't even want to hear it.
Hey,
you know, I
have to put up with. So when y'all say that we're giving him a hard time, no, we're not.
That's the shit he sends us in text messages.
Yes, all the time. He's a kid. He's a little kid.
I want all. What'd you say in my video? 14-to-1 compression. Let's go.
I want it all, baby. Every bit of it. Bring it on. I want it all. Well, look, I don't want to mess up your live stream tonight.
No, man, I appreciate you stopping in.
We'll get on here and start. You know, we'll forget.
Next couple of days, you got off. If you want me to, talk some.
Yeah, we might do that. I think we're gonna do another giveaway. I don't know. Maybe even.
Okay? So, just so you guys know, he did a B31 camshaft buy-in. You guys remember we've done that on our channel, and I think it works out pretty well. I mean, we're not breaking the bank with this stuff, but
it worked out all right. So I think we had like 14 orders, so it wasn't really. I didn't market it right or advertise it right, and wife got on to me about it. She was like, "That was horrible the way you did that," because it looked like just another shirt ad. But it's fine for us, you know. Basically, we're just trying to hook somebody up with a good cam. We've got a couple cams laying around that we're not going to use because obviously we're going to change some things up. But I'll do a better job next time of letting people know, because I had a bunch of people in the live stream tonight on the giveaway like, I didn't even know. What are you talking about? I didn't even know this existed. So do a better job of trying to promote that type stuff. But we'll probably be doing another one coming up soon.
Yeah, we're definitely going to do the same thing. We're going to probably do one in December or something. I don't know. We've done one or two of them in the past, and I've always started in live stream. And to be honest with you, these guys have been supporting me for so many years. You know, we did an E-cam. I think I told you that. I found a really good, clean, lower mileage E-cam, and I think we sold like 10 shirts, and that's plenty. I mean,
that's enough.
You know, and it's just like, you know, hey, what if we did this with like a camshaft that we were, you know, from the sponsors or something, and you know, it's something that we're considering. So
something that I want to kind of talk about real quick. I want to ask everybody's opinion. How do you feel about the waffles? The waffles are really good for us to generate some extra income for the channel.
Absolutely.
And me and Neo have talked about this, and Caleb. What we don't want to do is wear you guys out with too many, right? So we understand that, because guys, we could have a waffle every week if we wanted to, but we try to kind of balance it out, right? So what we don't want to do is have so many waffles to where you guys are like, damn, I can't keep up with this. It's costing me a fortune to enter all these waffles. But the reason why I bring this up is how do you guys feel about it? We have to do stuff to generate extra cash for the channel, and we will be doing more waffles for sure. But it's, it benefits you guys because say we're doing a transmission giveaway, you might win a transmission for $100 that would have cost you thousands of dollars. So don't feel obligated to enter. At least on my end, speaking for myself, don't feel obligated to enter, but you're going to definitely see some more waffles, coming up.
Yeah, waffles are great, especially. Oh, let me put this up here. This guy said he loved them. Murphy's Law. What's up, Murphy's Law? Good to see you, brother.
Yeah, good to see you. I need some more barbecue sauce.
Yeah. Adventures of Super Days said waffles are great with the big ticket items. So we were just talking about that. This guy says I'm a pro waffle. He probably enters them all.
As long as it's not a blue waffle.
More waffles on Tremix. So, we had just been talking about, do you think the big ticket items were, too much? And to be honest with you, I think that's what people want. They want an opportunity in TKX T56 because that's one of the main components in transfer, especially TKX. Because honestly, if you already got a Tremec in your car, 3550, you've already got the bell, you've already got the crossover. All you need is the transmission and the base that it comes with, anyways. So,
well, I want to ask one more question. I know this is your live stream here, but I guess help both of us.
Come on, man. Hell yeah.
We've considered doing a full, and I mean absolute full swap giveaway. And this is something Neo knows about this as well. We've talked about this. So we've got something in the mix with Hanlon and some other people as well to where we're talking about stuff like big ticket shit, like $8,000 to $9,000 worth of stuff from start to finish. Now these waffles would require at least $100 buy-in, and we're going to need to fill a lot of spots, right? But I guess that's kind of where I was going with this earlier. Like, how do you guys feel about that? Because this gives you a chance to get maybe a full swap, maybe a supercharger kit, an engine for $100, maybe. I can't hear.
Can you guys?
Can
you guys hear it? I can't hear you. It went out.
Oh,
your
mic.
Can
you hear me now? All right. Let's just.
What about now?
Your mic?
Yeah, I just unplugged it.
Oh, you guys can hear him?
Might have muted me. He's like, I'm tired of hearing this dude talk.
Yeah.
We'll let him get
hey,
caught
so
up
I can hear you on my other stream, but StreamYard must have cut you out.
Okay. Well, I'll just leave the mic disconnected for now. Look, guys, I'm not going to get into all this, but this has been a hot topic for us lately with the waffles and stuff. So I'd like to really do a big, massive waffle for you guys to where you can go to Hanlon or Anderson and get.
Oh, I don't know what happened, brother. It just, can you hear me? Yeah, there it is.
Yeah, I can hear you fine. Yeah, sorry, I can hear you. Nah, you're good.
Anyways,
but anyway, that's
about the big waffle. My fault.
No, it's good. I was just basically saying, like we're talking about doing a massive waffle, like meaning from start to finish on a transmission. We're talking all the bolts, adjustable pivot stud, clutch, drive shaft from Inland, everything you could possibly want, like 6-speed transmission, everything, ultra bell, all of it, right? From start to finish. But these waffles are going to be expensive. We're going to have some participation in them because, you're talking $7,000 worth of stuff or $8,000 worth of stuff. But man, that is a dream package for somebody. And I know it is. It'd be a dream package for me, to win something like that would be crazy.
I'm going to be honest with you. I think most of these folks you got to look at it kind of like a devil's advocate. I think, we're doing it for the good of the order, to help somebody try to get something. And yeah, it benefits the channel, but I mean, that's why we've taken these many years to build an audience. And then, this is the brands that we support, and these are the brands that we run in all of our cars. And, this could be game changer for somebody who, you know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. Well, like I said, or you said it really best. It benefits everybody. It benefits the channel that keeps us, going, because YouTube sure isn't doing crap.
No.
So we have to
Facebook,
do.
you've seen it.
It's horrible. It's horrible. But to keep these things going, we're going to start doing some more. But we, if it gets to a point to where it's just completely out of hand, I would hope you guys let us know. Now, squeaky wheel doesn't get the grease, just so you know.
Right.
One
Waffles are
person-
great. Count me in for 5 of them on the complete swap. Waffles are cool. I'd take a chance on my odds. I haven't heard anybody, and the waffles are the type of thing that, you're either in them or you're not. Nobody's forcing you to do it.
not forcing you to do anything.
So yeah, and you don't have to feel obligated ever. I mean, I never
Look,
ever would be like, oh, shame on you guys. Hell,
exactly. Well, and the other thing is, I think people understand at this point there's money in it. There's money for the channel. There's extra money in it because this is a lot of work, guys. A waffle, when you got, because I think we had 200 entries on the poop coop. That was,
man, that had to have been a nightmare.
it was a nightmare, but it was worth it. Like the guys, the guys were stepping up. They were helping the channel out. I knew what they were doing. Nobody really probably wanted that car that much per se, but they were really helping the channel out, and it did, man. It helped out a lot. So you just know that you're helping us out too whenever you do this. But it's a win-win for everybody. So we're going to be doing some more of that. Me and Neo have been talking, and Caleb. So you guys get ready because there's going to be some waffles, and you can kind of pick and choose.
Yeah, and we love you all anyways. Just like you here on super chats on, whatever you guys do with us on live stream. That stuff stays, I know for a fact, and real recognizes real. I know for a fact that Brutal, his channel, everything goes into his channel, his cars, everything. And he talks about that, and he's, like I said, real recognizes real. Same with Caleb. We do these things. We make ramen noodle money on the actual ads, and we do it mainly for fun and to grow our brand. That's and right. We've gotten to the point to where we have an audience now to where, especially on Facebook, where we can take, and if you haven't followed Brutal, he actually has a business page on Facebook. I mean, I don't know what you're doing. He's like 11, 12, 15,000 people there too. We've grown as well up to like 34 or 35,000. So we've grown audience over time, and it takes a lot of time for stuff like that.
It does.
Waffles, you're going to see a majority of the waffles happen there. So if you're interested in doing something with Brutal, I think he starts there. I don't know if, I know I do. I don't know if he does. But we definitely branch out into YouTube and other social media, whatever. So,
Facebook's pretty lenient on that stuff. And, it's not really it's not an issue at all, but Facebook is a lot more forgiving.
Yeah, it's a waffle. I mean, there's so many people doing it. It's not even something wrong. And the t-shirt buy-in is really cool too, because you actually get a t-shirt with the possibility of getting a camshaft.
It's really a good thing. And there again, that's kind of hard to keep up with too. But that's all part of, none of this stuff's easy. None of the shit we do is easy. So what a waffle for a paint job would. Okay, so here's the thing that I think we've all probably thought about at some point when it comes to waffles. Can we just do like a gift card giveaway waffle? Meaning, hey man, you want a paint job on your car? Let's do a $10,000 waffle, and basically we would cover your paint job. We would pay that for you to the person that you want to do it. That's a possibility for something like that to happen. Now,
possibilities are unlimited.
Yes, it really is. So, like, in other words, let's say we generated $12,000.
Sorry.
Yeah. Let's say we generated $12,000 for a waffle, and then you guys need a paint. You won the paint job. You go find your guy, somewhere around the $10,000 to $11,000 mark, and then we pay that for you. So that's a win for you, right? So yeah, there's tons of things that we can do. Obviously, we have to leave some profit in there for us. You guys understand how that works. But yeah, we could absolutely do something like that. I don't know about the legality of all that, but I would think it'd be the same thing.
So yeah, we've got a lot of stuff. There's a there's a lot of cool stuff that we're going to, with the type of audiences that we've built on Facebook and the ones that we have here on YouTube, there's a lot of cool stuff. Like I still plan on doing Fox Days of Christmas, which is going to be pretty much exclusively for my members and for the people here in my live. I'm not interested in doing. Remember, we did the TubeBuddy the one year, and we did all the hashtag box 1, box 2. That was really, really cool, and it was fun, but it was a logistic nightmare. And then people were winning shit that I've never seen before. I want to get stuff for people that I see in my chat.
Yeah, that was chaos that year. So Fox Days of Christmas was something that me and Neo really sat down, we thought about, we talked about, and it works, but it can get out of hand real quick. So I think we've simplified it a little bit. What the hell is wrong with this rooster, dude? You hear this shit?
Real Till needs a paint job, he said.
Real Till needs a paint job? No, it doesn't. That car is flawless.
Isn't it?
That car does not need a paint job. The Calypso, we're actually, I guess tomorrow I'm going to pull the Calypso in and we're going to pull the ground effects off of it because, again, I can't open the door without it ripping the ground effects. And we're going to probably do some paint work on it and fix some stuff and go back through that type stuff with you guys that are curious about paint jobs and doing stuff yourself.
You've done a lot.
I still say do your own paint job. Neo can paint too. Don't let him lie.
No, I mean, my dad's car proves that. That was a 15-year-old Omni Plus. You remember Omni? It's like the cheap paint.
Oh, yeah. Dude, that Omni Clear would run off on the floor. It was so thin. Yeah. But it worked. You know what?
Me and cousin Paul painted that in a weekend because I wanted to surprise my dad on his 60th birthday. There's a good story behind that. I've said on the story on the channel a couple times where, he got rid of his I don't even remember, 1960 whatever Buick 300 Special or something, just so me and my sister could have Christmas. And I always told my dad I was going to repay him. So make it interesting. Brutal Waffles the paint job. Neo picks the color.
Oh yeah.
I don't know about that.
Yeah.
It would be
Berger. Has anybody got any questions for Berger? I'm tired of him over here not saying anything.
Neo might choose Sonic Blue for the 7th time. You're exactly right. Pimp, I have painted blue 6 times.
Yeah.
Grabber, 2 Ultras, and 3 Sonic Blues.
Oh, you painted Ultra Blue?
2-tone. Yep.
Wow. That was what my 93 GT was Ultra Blue and silver.
1990 Ultra Blue 2-tone titanium lower. Light titanium.
Let me go grab a picture real quick. Talk to Berger in the process.
What's up, son? Come on over here.
Yeah. Get a little closer.
So you're naturally aspirated right now, huh?
Yep, for now.
See the bad little bitch.
It is, man. It's just tough.
I haven't really got much time to drive it, honestly. It's been busy, but I did drive it last night.
Yeah, and tell them what happened last night. You got a little sketchy when you grabbed that 4th gear, didn't it?
Woo!
On motor.
On motor.
Yeah.
It's all motor.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was all motor.
Don't be scared of it, brother.
Hey.
Be all right.
Look, I was going through some pictures. Look at Papa T with his trophy he won. He won that trophy with the Mach 1 back in the day.
Damn.
There was a Mach 1. Yeah, there was a Mach 1 right there. I'm about to show you a picture of the Ultra that I have, which it's just stock pretty much. But where's it at?
I probably should have videoed riding
you
my
what?
car.
Let's see. There it is. So there was my Ultra.
Where you
Blue
at?
93.
Let me pull it back up. I'm sorry. Well, I didn't see it. Show me again.
All
I
right.
was going to show you mine.
All right.
Ooh. Oh, that's beautiful. Is that light or dark titanium lower?
It was factory, so I think it was light in 93.
Really?
Yeah. That's those were the Celine stripes on the side. Everybody had to have Celine stripes back then.
I just had it. Hold on a second. Here you go.
Hold on. Coming back over there. You got some
4-lug salines too. Celine.
Yeah, you don't see those very much at all.
I'm bringing that back to the channel. It's going to be one of my old videos that I'm going to bring back. I actually created a GT40P flip piston long tube header. This car was turbo. If you It had a black bumper on it and a mismatched bullshit here and there, but this is what it was before I finished it and sold it. But we turbocharged it, much like this car actually made the most. It made 601 to the wheels on a stock block.
Yeah.
This one made the most out of all of them. The black car made 570. I think that's the most it ever made at 18 pounds. This one made 601 with P heads, not 3 bars, at 19 pounds of boost. But I think I heard it. I don't remember.
That's crazy. Hey, let me ask you a question on those P heads. What headers did you use? Oh, never mind. You were turbo.
Yeah, I was just non-3 stuff. You know, that was through a 7068 too, a little baby turbo. Like we had no wastegate. Like we just unplugged it.
Damn.
Yeah, it was all wastegate. Yeah, we were. This car was a bad bitch. I mean, a lot of people don't. Oops.
Oh, you had that Celine wing on the back.
What'd you say?
I said you had that Celine wing on the back.
Yeah, saline wings and everything, man. You know.
Yeah. I got old coupe Celine wing. So you say saline, I say Celine. You know.
No, it's saline. It's not saline. Saline's a solution. I don't know why I said. So, you know, sometimes I.
Well, some people. Well, I've heard it pronounced. You know, every different way throughout the year. So remember the old Kenny Brown cars?
Yes.
Yeah,
Kenny Brown needs to be a K member. People don't. I think it was square. It wasn't round. Is that right?
Yeah. Yeah, there was something unique about them. But Kenny Brown had like a special edition Kenny Brown or something you could get through Kenny Brown. I think it was just all the suspension stuff back in the day. That was pretty cool. Hell yeah.
Hell yeah, brother.
Well, I guess we're gonna go ahead and get off here and go.
All right, brother. Well, you know what? Hit me up tomorrow if you want to do a live this week.
All right.
Pick a time.
Yeah, we can do that. We'll get together and.
What's funny, Mike?
You didn't see what he.
What did he say?
It wasn't what he was saying. It was what he was doing.
What are you doing?
I just, there's a delay, so we're watching it on his phone over here.
And
he's over here doing some. It's just.
Okay.
I was like, "What are you doing?" I saw it on camera. Good. All right. Well, look. I'll get up with you, man. We'll do us a live stream. We'll chit chat a little bit.
Okay, brother. We'll see you soon. Thank you. Thanks, guys.
Appreciate y'all.
Appreciate you.
All right. See if I can exit out of this damn thing. Probably not. Sometimes they don't want to.
All right. So we got a chance to talk to Brutal a little bit. Appreciate him for coming in and talking a little Jackstand Church with us, having a little fun with us. So anyways, we do have a banner to give away, and we did make our mark tonight for the super chats. So Super Dave, I appreciate the $50 super chat. Lucifer, $10 super chat. HLR for 20. Jesse Workman for 10 and another 5. I knew you both would be friends. It's your fellow block breaker. Yeah, block breaker. So I appreciate you guys for doing what we do with the Gold membership and the merch. So we are going to be giving away, we're going to be doing a trivia, and we are going to be giving away a hat and or t-shirt at neomustangs.com. So yes, I'm going to PRI. If you want to get in on the Hanlon banner, big shout to Hanlon, hashtag Hanlon. Let's get that banner given away first, and then we'll do the merch giveaway. So big thanks to Hanlon for what he does here for us on the channel and for what he's done. You know, keep in mind, this is who we do our TKX waffles with. T56 waffles, and the company that Bruno works with that he's going to be doing the swap with. Guys, waffles are cool. Like, we're going to be probably doing a T56 waffle here in the next, probably this week. Like he was talking about, you know, Caleb had just did one a couple weeks ago, and we both were all, you know, we all were talking a little bit about, you know, not getting too crazy with the waffles, but I'm going to be honest with you. Waffles are kind of like a voluntary thing. So if we start generating a little bit of income for our channels, just to get, like, I like to take some of that money. Like, I gave away all the money from my last TKX waffle for the stick shift racers at Magnolia. If you remember that, I gave away $1,000 on the pot because that's what I made on that one. And, you know, it was really cool to be able to do that. And I only do them every so many months. And I don't think we do them often enough to where, you know, we're going to run over each other, you know, because there's a bunch of people that might have missed Caleb's waffle. There's people that'll miss Brutal's waffle, and those people that'll miss mine, and they'll all cross over. So I think waffles are a great way to help support the channel. I think that's kind of where we're at with you know, a little bit of this, that, and the other here on the other side. You know, merch. You know, we do work pretty hard for what we do. So we'll give away this, and we will do a trivia. Matter of fact, we will do a trivia of this car that we just brought back up on the channel. So I'm going to actually bring some of my old footage. I just did it this past Saturday. It was a lot of narrating. It took me a long time to do that video. So if you didn't get a chance to go out and see our new video from Saturday, I do want you to go check it out for me, you know, and support the channel. One of the biggest ways you guys can support the channel is by commenting, sharing the video, and just at least watching it for 30 seconds, 45 seconds, a minute, just kind of scanning through to kind of keep up with where we're at. So that's one of the best ways you can support both me and Caleb and Brutal and all the other content creators that create, regardless of what genre they're a part of. So, you know, this is
horsepower is what you're interested in.
This is the video that we brought out on Facebook and on YouTube this past weekend. So if you guys get a chance, go check it out, please.
If budget horsepower is what you're interested in, you're going to want to stick around for this video. We took a bone stock rebuild.
That's Project Hot Wheels engine was a bone stock motor that we refreshed.
Put a turbo kit on it. We took it to the dyno, laid down some power on the roller. We also took another bone stock rebuild.
That's Dad's car with the GT40 top end.
But this time with GT40 upgrades in what we called the Cobra clone motor, and took it to Foxtoberfest and laid down some power on the dyno there, here in 2025. So we're going to compare what we did several years ago with Project Hot Wheels with what we've done recently with Dad's car here on the channel. Good, strong budget horsepower that you can do at home with a good tune. I'm pretty excited. I got a lot to show you guys. Let's get right into it.
So I want you guys to check that out if you get an opportunity. So let me remove that. Anyways, let's go ahead and give this away about an hour and a half in. I'll make sure I got to sign it. Yep. I haven't even shot any videos for this week. I need to figure that out. All right. Here we go. All right. Good luck, y'all. Let me scroll back up. What's it say? I think I've watched that video 5 times. Yeah, that's a good video. I finally got my garage set up in my new house where I can hang my banner. Hell yeah, brother. All right, here we go. Handling. Hashtag handling. Big thanks for what him and Zach do, and Mom and Pops. Appreciate you guys. Here we go. Rich Long, congratulations, brother. Hell yeah. Rich, make sure you email me at Neomustangs@hotmail and tell me, you know, send me your address. Also, we're going to be doing a merch. So we're going to do a trivia. Which one was that? I must have got that one wrong. Oh. Trying to find him again. There we go. So make sure that neomustangs.com, if you win the trivia, it's going to be pretty quick because we're going to get off here in a second off the live. So congratulations, Rich. Handling banner. Trying to scroll back down. I appreciate that, Clifton. I try to make this stuff relevant. The last couple of weeks have been pretty relevant. So, trivia. Since we got a chance to see Brutal's two-tone blue titanium, we painted this car. This car we had rebuilt this engine one. Like, we bought this car as a roller from, I don't know what it is about PA, but I find this shit in barns. So, if you've been on the channel, you know long enough, you know, you've known this car long enough. I'm going to try to make it easy. Well, maybe not so easy. If you watched me build this car, what camshaft did I put in this engine? It's the first one I see. Wasn't an F cam. Wasn't a Cobra cam. Pimp won it. E-cam. Congratulations. Close. Yep. So this car, congratulations, Pimp. You know what to do. Email me, brother, and I'll go to neomustangs.com, Pimp, and tell me what you want. Hat or shirt, sweater, whatever you want, so I can forward it to Mike. So big thanks to Mike at 417 Fox for dealing with us every Sunday, giving away merch. And big thanks to those in the chat that have given us super chat, super stickers, because that stuff goes towards this goal every Sunday to give away a piece of merch. I don't really make any money on that too much, make like $10, but the majority of it goes to 417 Fox, and he, after YouTube takes their cut, and he sends out some merch in 2 days. So like you get merch like instantly. So yeah, sweatshirts on the table. That's fine. I don't care. It's fine. Not worried about it, brother. So big thanks to those guys who do support us here on the channel with the super chats. Super Dave, Jesse Workman, HLR, Lucifer. Appreciate you guys and my members as well for being, doing what you do. That all goes to the same area. That all goes to doing stuff like this. So go pick what sweater you want, Pimp. Make sure you tell me what color and style you need, and I need your address so I can make sure that Mike knows all that stuff. So when he tells Angela tomorrow, he'll have it shipped out on Tuesday. So what shirt are you wearing? This is, I don't know. What shirt is it? Is this the black car or the white car? I think it's the black car. So I got a lot of merch up on neomustangs.com. Guys, my merch isn't cheap. Like cheap materials. It's not cheap. Like I've washed this shirt probably 20 times and it's still, black and not faded. I take some pretty good pride in what I sell as far as like merch wise, especially with hats and shirts, stuff that people are going to be able to wear more than once. I'm not saying that making a cheaper t-shirt isn't in the cards, doing some other stuff with it, but a lot of the stuff that I've designed, I've all physically designed with Tom Clark at Stifler's and done with 417 Fox. And we've done it with good quality Gildan soft style shirts. That stuff's not cheap. All this vinyl. This is an extra $2 to put the flag on the side of my, I'm a big patriot, man. You know what I mean? I spent 14 years in the Army, and, appreciate all my veterans and all the people out there that serve the countries. So yeah, neomustangs.com's got a lot of, they got, if you run a stick shift car, all my Tremec stick shift life shirts are all unbranded. So you're not going to be running around with Neo's name on it. It'll just be, stick shift life and what transmission you have in your car and beat them with a stick. You know what I mean? It's pretty cool stuff. So super comfortable and top notch. I appreciate that, Roy. Thanks. I have a hat and shirt, need a complete fit. You'll have my address for those vibrant mufflers. KK, appreciate you stopping in. Neo, can you run an Aeromotive carb fuel pressure regulator on a fuel injected supercharged engine? I don't think it regulates the same. I have that exact shirt and it's very nice and comfortable. Yeah, I put a lot of money. like instead of making a design for like $8 and selling it for 30, my shirts are probably every bit of $17 or $18 just to make. You know what I mean? I make maybe $10 on it. That's why, I could sell them for 25 and make a cheaper t-shirt, but I would rather have something quality on somebody. If they're going to represent my brand, I want them to represent my brand with a nice quality shirt that they're comfortable in, that's got a good vinyl design on the back. You know what I mean? I kind of big into that. It's not so much about the money, more about the principle. So it is what it is. Let's get back to the Army and clean up the mess. Yeah. She was cutting into my Mustang budget. Good move, Roy. I broke up with my girlfriend and made sure I got my Neo shirt back. There we go. Smart. Give it to the next lady. Follow me for relationship advice. Hey, Jesse, I appreciate you, man. Make sure you let me know how you're. I wanted to share Jesse's story with you guys and make sure that we're going to follow along and see if he can get a little bit faster with some of the budget stuff that he's been doing. So I appreciate what you do for us, Jesse. So, anyways, I haven't shot any shit for videos, but we don't have a super busy week coming up, which means that we're going to be on the black car pretty hardcore. We put Dad's car away. White car's just kind of waiting to come in to go under the knife. Coop's just sitting out in the weather right now, but black car needs some love. We need to get the motor out of it and get it prepped for Dave, because Dave will be back in town in about 2 weeks. And if you remember correctly, he's going to want everything ready for the 393. We're going to take the crank, send it out, get it cut, and we're going to fit bearings perfectly. So the 393 is going to make a resurrection in December, hopefully at some point by the end of the year, where we can fire it back up with the vibrant mufflers that we got on there and just, get it ready for spring. Maybe head back to the dyno with the different intake that we have on it. So we got some quality stuff that we're going to control with, that we're going to be looking at with the black car. Will the 393 make 500 wheel? We got Dad's car with the suspension at the same time. I'm going to put Brembo brakes on the black car and have it ready for when the springtime comes. We got a lot of stuff that we got to do on top of the background. We're going to be doing the coupe build, but I'm not going to do a lot of content on the coupe transition with the white car because there's a lot of busy work there. And instead of me spending a bunch of time with a camera in my hand, I would rather just be spending as much time as I can, the little bit of time I do have, getting all the parts transitioned over to the new chassis. So, and we'll kind of just do a couple videos during the transition and just kind of focus on the black car and a little bit of what's going on with the white car or our Dad's car. So whatever. Anyways, good evening. You have a blessed week, guys. I want you guys to make sure you stay safe. It is that time of the year that deer are running everywhere. I don't know if you pay attention to that stuff. Here in Ohio, it's really bad. I preach to my kids who just turned, my kid's 16, he'll be 17 in a month. But, I love my children and I'm always trying to look at dangers as a dad. He's driving my big old lifted diesel truck around, so he'll probably just run a deer over if it was a run in front of him. But nonetheless, it's still a hazard. So you guys, it's that time of the year. Thanksgiving's coming up. Make sure you're budgeting time. And I want you to do yourself a favor. We're coming into the holidays with Thanksgiving and Christmas. I want you to call that person that you've been thinking about that maybe you haven't heard from in 6 or 8 months. I want you to get real with it. Like it could be a family member, it could be a friend, maybe somebody, forgiving. I went to church today, and I usually start the live streams with this stuff, but I went to church today and we talked about scars and we talked about wounds. And I'm going to be honest with you. If you email me, I will send you a direct link to that message this morning. And I'm going to be honest with you. It hit me right in the feels. And it's almost like the pastor was literally speaking to me. And sometimes, forgiving somebody is like releasing a prisoner when you come to find out the prisoner was you. And, it's the season to be with family and friends and loved ones, spend as much time in the garage. It's build season for a lot of people in the North. And, we got to get busy, but, I want you guys to be real, talk to that, maybe send a message or just, put a phone call in to that one person that you might've been wanting to talk to for a while, just to see how they're doing. You don't have to talk about anything because wounds and scars need to heal. And like I said, if you want to hear that message, I'll send you that in email. But yeah, we all have scars, we all have wounds, and Sometimes it's just best to just forgive and move on. Forgive that person. So yeah, call that person up and, maybe just see how they're doing. So anyways, that's all I got today. I love y'all. Appreciate everybody who's supported the channel. Guys, I just have a blast on Sundays being able to sit down and talk some car guy shit with you guys here in the shop. It's like I said, it's my favorite time of the week. It's actually a little bit stressful because I feel like I got to perform this, this nerve surgery or, this. But to be honest with you, it's just me sitting down with you, just being myself. And, and you guys make it every week, make me wanting to come back, seeing 100 people in here talking some car guy shit. But amen, amen. Hell yeah. I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. Got Thanksgiving coming up. We will be live streaming through the holidays. We got Fox Days of Christmas. I need some ideas. So my members, I'm tasking you with what would be a good gift for each tier of my membership. And maybe kind of email me and maybe we can work something out. But have a good week. Be safe. I love y'all. See you in the next video this week.